Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. The area with bananas, now we're in the banana zone, where crazy things start to happen. It means that, if they're real, the market value of all altcoins X could go up by 10 times. That's a lot, then. That's a big room, and some of these things are going to move really quickly. Remember the thesis? Do not mess this up. You're going crazy careful, you're going to buy all the stupid stuff your friends are telling you about. Keep most of the votes in the majors. Keep 80 to 90% of your money in the majors. Keep 10% for recording some things here for the most part. You won't be able to make money on, trust me. I've been there before. Who is watching us now? The author of the big hit Rich Dad, Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki. We'd also like to thank everyone who put their trust in us. We read every comment, and the best part is, if you sign up now, you'll get all new information for free. Don't just follow the crowd, be ahead of them. Sign up for Bitcoin Bubble right now and enjoy the new edge. Raoul Pal, co-founder and CEO of Real Vision, talks about the price action in Bitcoin and why it might be entering the banana zone based on charts and data from his study in today's video. Raoul, a global macro investor, also gives investors useful advice on what to look for next. Anyway, it's almost time for old coin season. The years of the presidential election are here, and it's already showing up in your front feed. It looks like it's getting warmer. This is being filmed before the presidential discussion. At this point in time, Bitcoin seasonally is very strong. So these warm months, June, July, and August, then there's that kind of chop around that before the election because people don't know what it means and don't know who will be taxed and whatnot, so they lower their risk a bit. Then, after the election, whoever wins the market, the orange zone keeps going. Again, that's usually the case. Don't expect it to be perfect. From now on, though, it's mostly going up and to the right, with a consolidation fix in the middle. Those corrections should cause that bolus. Oh, I see what you mean. Expect down 35%, stand 25%, all of them are fine. On X, people have been crazy for the past week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks because the market has been flat. Guys, be patient. Think about the long run. Okay, the banana zone, so we did the zone where Bitcoin was cut in half. Now that the boring zone is over, we move on to the full banana zone. The stages of the market can be seen. So that's what I hope to see and what we should expect to see. That's the Bitcoin half cycle for 2016. Again, it's the most like me right now. Don't think that things will go the same way. I think it will go more like the 201617 cycle than the 2021 cycle. We'll have to wait and see, but the banana zone will come and go. That's your award. The bananas that bend on the chart are these. Those are the things you'll get for hanging on for dear life. Be patient, do not go over your ski tips. Don't use force. Don't let FOMO make you do stupid things. In your collection, keep the right things. Don't push the risk curve too far and just wait for everything to happen. It is good to be patient. The price of Bitcoin hasn't hit its peak yet, and it's likely to go above its all-time high this year. A study report released by CCA on Tuesday says that Bitcoin hit an all-time high of over $73,000 in March. Since then, it has been trading between $59,000 and $72,000. In March, spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds ETFs were approved and put into service. This was a big part of the rise to the record high. In the US since January, they have brought in a net of about $14.41 billion. ETFs let buyers buy something that tracks the price of Bitcoin without actually owning the cryptocurrency itself. Crypto supporters say this has helped make the asset class more reputable and made it easier for bigger institutional buyers to join. The Bitcoin cycle is when the price of the digital currency goes up to a new all-time high and then down to enter a bear market, also known as crypto winter. Since Bitcoin's start, 3 of these cycles have already happened, and they tend to follow the same pattern. In that time, the price for miners has been cut in half during an event called the halving. Limiting the amount of Bitcoin that is available on the market, halving usually happens months before Bitcoin reaches its all-time high for the cycle. This cycle is different from the last ones. Because of the positive sentiment around the ETF in the US, Bitcoin hit a new record high and then dropped in half. Since Bitcoin has been trading in a range since its all-time high, many people are wondering if it has hit the top of its current cycle. A Satitas report that looked at how the price of Bitcoin has changed in the past suggests it could hit a new high point, according to the data and research firms. The halving event has always been followed by a price expansion time that can last anywhere from 366 days to 548 days before producing a cycle top. Each cycle has been longer than the last. Because the asset class has grown up and volatility has gone down, The last Bitcoin transaction happened on April 19th. So those periods of time in history have not yet passed. On top of that, we've seen less trade on centralized exchanges for almost 2 months now. Going back to the half event in earlier cycles, which seems to have happened again in this cycle, this means that the current cycle might last longer, until 2025, CT Statistics said. I know that everyone gets lost. It makes everyone nervous, but the truth is that the banana zone is funny. It's funny that they showed by the banana. This is phallic. I think it's funny when markets go crazy. We all love it. We all like for I understand that, but I also fully agree with you. It's what everyone hopes and dreams for. So look, I'm taking that very seriously, and it's scary putting my neck out there this much. But I'm trying to help as many people as I can. I really believe that this space going from 2.6 trillion in crypto to 100 trillion by say 2032 is going to be the biggest wealth accumulation in history. And I want everyone to join me. It is not going to be simple, but I will fuck it up at some point too. We'll do our best to get there without getting hurt, and to have made a lot of money ... because that's how you screw up your future. I know these have a lot of bad language, but they're good ways to get your point across that this is really important information on how to unfuck your future. And that you need to follow some rules so you don't get confused. Don't mess this up. Both of those things should help you a lot on your trip. Now, I believe Solana does better. There are probably going to be other coins that do better than Solana, especially big layer coins. Let me know what you think. That will be in the comments. People on Twitter keep offering me coins, but I tell them to show me the charts where they beat Solana and I'll listen. Now, a small meme coin doesn't really matter, but I do think WIF has a good chance of outperforming Solana. I won't put my main money in WIF though. Why not mess this up? The rules say you shouldn't do that, but there will be chances to do it. Charles Edwards, founder of Capriol Investments, said that various launching metrics says that the fact that Bitcoin hasn't made any new highs after 2 retests shows that it is weak. Edwards wrote in his most recent newsletter that the long-term inflation rate for Bitcoin has been slowly rising over the last 2 years. Glassnode says that the LTAO's market inflation rate measures the annualized rates of accumulation or transfer that are on top of the daily amounts given to miners. Higher values mean that LTAs are adding to the pressure on the sell side as their Bitcoin stocks decrease. When the bull market was at its peak, market inflation hit a high point above official inflation at the 2% mark, which usually means there's a good chance the cycle top is in, says Edwards at 1.9 today. I don't like how close we are to that level. Dormancy flow is another useful measure for figuring out market cycles and figuring out whether Bitcoin is going up or down, which measures how many coins are being spent in relation to the overall trend. More information from Glassnode shows that the number for Bitcoin dormancy has gone up a lot in the last 90 days. Edwards noticed that this measure reached its highest point in April, indicating that the average age of cash spent is a lot older in 2024. Most of the time, cycle tops show up in this metric's peaks. After only 3 months, the expert said now that 3 months have passed, the price has only gone down, and the dormant Z-score peak is still there, with a shape that looks a lot like the tops of 2017 and 2021. Bitcoin is overvalued compared to the number of coins in a transaction at its current value, as shown by the dormancy flow Z-score.